want to be mindful of this gentleman's time. So, Mr. Huelskamp.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the opportunity, Mr. Zients. I appreciate the opportunity to question you today. I appreciate the budget presentation. And going through the budget, I haven't dug into it as much as I will shortly. But if you had to pick one thing as the absolute highlight of this budget, what would it be? What are you most proud about in this particular budget?
I think it's the combination of investing in the short term to make sure that we put people back to work, and at the same time putting us on a sustainable path by getting our debt and deficits under control.
Well, when I look
So it's the combination. It's doing both at once. It's not an either or.
And I appreciate that. And we've had the earlier question. I stepped out for a little bit. There was another committee visiting with folks about their budget in a particular area. But again, you didn't answer the question earlier about exactly when do we actually balance. When I visit with constituents, they're worried about a deficit. They're more importantly worried about the debt. And they understand the math. Until you do not have a deficit, you can't propose to pay down the debt. So maybe I'll ask the question a little differently. When does the President propose to actually reduce the debt on America?
Well, he stabilizes the debt in this budget, and this budget makes major progress. The President looks forward to working with both houses to continue to bring down our deficits and bring down our debt.
What year does he actually stabilize the debt? That would suggest that there's a year in which this budget
2018.
That's when the budget will balance?
That's when I think the question you asked was when does the debt stabilize? The debt stabilizes in 2018 as a percent of GDP.
As a percent of GDP.
That's
So
right.
it
Which we keep coming back to. You have to think about it that way because nominal dollars don't make any sense. I mean, if I told you you could have $1 today or $1 10 years from now, I think we'd all take the dollar today.
does
So I
the
think
debt stabilize, or the additional debt that the President's budget proposes? That stabilizes, correct, but the debt load continues to increase as a percentage of GDP?
No, debt stabilizes as a percent of GDP starting 2018.
But this budget will never, the President does not propose to ever actually balance the budget. Is that correct?
We are not at the point in this budget window where we are balancing the budget. This takes us a significant step toward that, and then we need to work together to continue to drive toward a balanced budget.
So the window you discuss is in the next 10 years, so there's no balanced budget next 10 years, correct? But looking long term, it's a question I get from constituents. You understand. They say, well, when will Washington, instead of talking about a balanced approach, actually give us a balanced budget? Can you foresee how many years, decades that might occur in this?
I don't think any of us can project out that far. What I can tell you is this budget makes significant progress. We bring down our deficits to below 3% of GDP. We stabilize our debt as a percent of GDP. That's a major milestone. There's more work to be done.
But adding another, in the next 10 years, another question, how much more debt is added to the bottom line in this President's budget?
Well, again, I don't think you should think about it in nominal terms.
No, but what is the nominal term? Humor me, if you would,
I think
please.
your colleague before was citing some numbers. I can try to track them down. The debt held by the public is currently in 2012 about $11.6 trillion, and in 2022, 19.5.
So to you, stabilizing the situation is just adding debt, but not as quickly? I mean, this President's comfortable with never having a balanced budget maybe in the next 20 to 30 to 40 years?
I think what we're talking about is making serious progress in a period of time when you can actually talk about progress. Who knows what happens across 30, 40, 50 years of time. We're making that progress. We're making that progress while we maintain the basic compact we have with our citizens.
Well, I would hope if maybe your staff would actually kind of project what the administration would like to see. Give us a date when we would actually have a balanced budget, not a percent of GDP, but actually spend less in 1 year than we're taking in. And that has not happened in decades, and I'd like to see that. The other thing, a quick question, what part of the budget, and particularly the President's tax increases, actually create jobs? I know it's a short time, I only have 22 seconds left, but I wish your staff would get back to me and identify. I know the President's proposed a bunch of new tax increases, and I'm concerned about jobs. exactly which one of these tax increases and how will they actually create jobs? Because that's what the American people want, at least the ones.
Well, I think in terms of the medium term, having a balanced approach to deficit reduction, which creates an investment environment.
And we'll, as you said, we'll let you get back to him in writing if you want, just
Okay.
for the
Thank
sake
you,
of
Mr.
your
Chairman.
time.